This is a place.
This is a place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Thank you for listening to This is a Place podcast. My name is Brandon.
My name's Nate.
And we want to wish everyone Feast of the Ass Day.
Say that again.
We want to wish everyone Feast of the Ass Day.
Feast of the Ass Day?
Yeah.
Like the Feast of the Donkey? What is it?
Yeah. It's a religious holiday. You dirty mind.
I wasn't dirty.
The Feast of the Ass on January 14th began as a medieval Christian feast and commemorates the Israelites' flight into Egypt. It was predominantly observed in France as a variant of the Feast of Fools, which commemorated biblical donkey-related narratives, particularly the donkey that carried the Holy Family into Egypt following Jesus' birth.
Okay.
There you go.
Fun stuff.
You know why I picked it, right?
I do not.
Well, because I wanted to say a bad word.
Oh. But it's in the Bible, so it doesn't
But it's in the Bible. It was between that and take a missionary to lunch day.
Really?
Yeah. So I picked the other one. Two religious options, and I picked the one with the bad word. Sue me.
You childish behaviors.
Speaking of children, you're basically a child. So young, so spry. Did you have a good birthday?
I did. I did a lot of work stuff.
Boo.
Then we started our hockey league again. And man alive, I'm getting too old for it. Too much. I feel like I told my wife, because she came to watch. Actually, my kids, everybody came to watch because we got to go to dinner after the game.
Of course.
And I said, I think I'm better off just paying money for a really expensive gym membership and just go run for 40 minutes straight, just sprint. And then I'm not frustrated because there's no winning or losing. You're just super tired at the end. Same results.
Don't you feel, but isn't it easier? Like, can you imagine doing 40 minutes of just sprints? Could you do that?
No. I've done it. I don't want to do it. And
it's the same thing you were doing with hockey, but with hockey, there's that incentive and somehow you can do it because you're competing, right?
That's the main reason why I play a lot of sports is because you have to trick yourself into exercising. Like basketball is the same way, right? You'd never just go run for an hour straight. But when you're playing basketball, you end up running for an hour straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I do.
You're getting too old for it, huh?
Hard. It's getting hard. Hockey's just getting too hard. For these kids are getting too young, and they don't stop. And so I feel like I'm just running sprints for 40 minutes straight, and I'm exhausted at the end.
Yeah. Well, where did you have your celebratory hockey/birthday dinner?
So the only place that was like probably still open that the kids would like, we ended up going to Pizza Pie Cafe.
Okay.
Is that a Utah based or was that Idaho?
I think so. Or
is it north?
I think even if it's not, it deserves a visit.
It's our CC's Pizza, right? That's what we have here. But yeah, in a Pizza Pie Cafe. I don't mind that place every once in a while, like every 6 months. I can handle it.
You mean it's not your favorite pizza?
No, I mean for a buffet pizza, sure, it's just fine. I do like the fact that they'd have the salad bar and they have the pasta bar. And I do love I love the dessert pizzas.
That's why I want to go there all the time. It's just the dessert pizzas.
Yeah.
We might need to go for Valentine's Day because it looks like they're going to have some kind of a heart sugar cookie looking pizza. I
All
mean,
right.
love that.
Yeah. I love the raspberry cookie,
Oh yes.
whatever they have, raspberry pizza. Not it's cookie. It's not bad, and especially the pizza if it comes out fresh, it's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when it's sitting out there for an hour, you're like,
Dang, I'm
yeah. We
gonna
did the we
hungry
did
for
the
some pizza.
pizza, and then get this, you'll like this. So in the afternoon when I was working, Becky took the kids to just Scarlett and Bronco to Walmart to so they could because they really wanted to go find me a gift.
Okay.
And guess what Scarlett did?
What did she do?
She went straight to the clearance section and found a clearance deal and gave me a clearance deal. So the gift was fine, but it was more a fact that the proud
The
dad moment of like
indoctrination.
the fact that she found something in the clearance section was my favorite part. So
You've trained them well.
yeah, well, trained for Scarlett.
Trained
So
Scarlet well. The other
trained Scarlett.
two, they go straight to
Bronco
the
went.
high
Bronco
ticket.
got Bronco got me like this Michelangelo Ninja Turtle toy, and he was like
Okay,
adamant. So I'm like, which is fine. I love the Ninja Turtles.
sure.
So he was super excited to
He
give
might
me
get more
this
use out of it than
turtle.
you, but that's okay.
Probably, and I don't know. I do love toys, so I was just very proud of Scarlett. I'm like, sweet, that's my daughter. Since I'm technically the one paying for it anyways, right? So I'm glad she didn't spend a lot of
Straight to
money.
clearance.
Clearance, and even Becky goes, "You'll be proud of Scarlett. She went straight to the clearance section, found you something. She knows me
Yeah,
all too well.
that's
She's
great.
my little dill hunter." So yeah, it was a good birthday. It was a good. Yeah, I'm getting older. Still not maturing. Just getting older. That's about it.
Yeah, it's the way to go. Well, you had a birthday. Your son also had a birthday, which is part of what prevented you from accompanying me on the latest field trip. And I'm sad about that, but I completely understand. But as I
Yeah, it would have
know,
been a fun one.
it would have, yes, would have been a fun one for you. Was a fun one for me. And I know that but you've been to this place, so it's not
Yes,
any surprise. You know, you're well aware of it. So we figured it'd be a good time to talk about. We give so much love to BYU. We're a very BYU podcast, very pro BYU podcast. We never give any love to Utah, so this is the chance. Give University of Utah their own episode, sort of.
kind of.
I went to the BYU Utah game over the weekend. Went and saw, yeah, the basketball game at the Huntsman Center. So figured we talk about the Huntsman Center.
Talk about it.
It was of that I know of my third visit there. I went once as a very young lad back in probably the more Utah basketball heyday. And you know what? Gonna have to admit it. I was very pro Utah back then when I was 2, 3, or 4. I was wearing a Utah shirt and cheering on the Utes. I think there's a picture of me out there wearing a Utah sweatshirt. And I do remember going to a basketball game. I don't remember a lot about it, but I remember everything was very big, very bright, and very loud. And apparently I had a great time. I don't remember as much. Second time I went there, my uncle, he used to help set up or like sell ice cream at the games. And so me and my cousin, we went up and down the aisles selling, I think they were called dibs. Do you remember those ice creams? Yeah, I think we
That
we
sounds
walked around and we,
sounds
we
familiar.
walked up and down the aisles and sold those. Which have you seen that? I don't do they do that at jazz games still? I don't see people going up and down aisles anymore.
I feel like with the apps and people, they can just bring it to your seat now that they don't do it as much.
Hmm.
It's true. I
Yeah.
don't really see vendors going up and down aisles as much as they did.
And
Maybe
part of it
baseball
may
games.
be, I mean, yeah, probably baseball games. And I feel like when I went to a monster truck event, they still had them out. But it's hard when you're in something you really don't want people in front of you. Like a monster truck, something like that, it's not a big deal. Baseball game, not a big deal. But a basketball game, I got yelled at a lot when I was selling the ice cream because I would kept getting in people's way during, big moments. I'm like, I'm just trying to sell the ice cream here, guys. Come on. Not trying to get in your way. Just buy some ice cream.
When the crap did we get ice cream?
Exactly. So that was my second experience there. And that was, that was kind of different, kind of fun. And then my third one was this past Saturday, checking out the basketball game.
I don't know what my first. I know I went with my dad to a Utah game once. My dad used to get a, like a game a year for the Utah, and then for basketball, he was the Apple Computer University sales rep for Utah. So he would get tickets. The cool thing too, I think he had a parking pass for the U, and we got to use it. And then I went and saw like the first and second round of an NCAA basketball tournament there. That's fun when you like. I don't know how many games you end up watching over the weekend, but there's a
Yeah.
lot. And then I saw probably early 2000s, saw Collective Soul there,
Okay.
one of my favorite bands. And that was fun because they did, I think, three encores. We left,
Three.
we were outside one of the times after we thought they were done for sure. And then all of a sudden we heard music playing again. So we had to go back in and watch it again. It was a fun concert. That was a really fun concert. And then my last visit there inside the arena, Bronco had esports tournament at the U, and they use like a lot of the buildings. And then the final championship of, I want to say, Rocket League, which he wasn't participating in, but we went to watch anyways, was inside the arena. So you just went in and sat down and watched on the jumbotron and a bunch of TV screens. Kids played
That's pretty cool.
Rocket League. So I've been in there multiple times.
No, that's cool. Maybe we should give some background on the Huntsman Center. So it is the John M. Huntsman Center, named after John M. Huntsman, who was the father of, well, I mean, the father of doesn't really do him justice because he's so much more than just the father of a former governor, right? I
Right.
mean, he was Huntsman Cancer, you know, uh, American businessman, specialty chemicals, uh, lots of things, a big guy. Oh, I didn't realize he's from Blackfoot, Idaho. That's where my one of my family's from. So that's cool. But that guy probably deserves an episode of his own. But yeah, the center is a 15,000 seat indoor arena in Salt Lake, home to the Utah Utes, and primarily for basketball and gymnastics. I think probably gymnastics is much bigger than basketball at this point, right? The Red Rocks are always consistently one of the biggest, best in the nation. Utah
Yeah.
gymnastics. Have you been to a gymnastics? I,
I don't believe so.
no. Okay.
I don't believe I ever have.
I feel like that's one I need to get my daughter to. I think she'd enjoy that. But it opened in late 1969 as a special event center and succeeded the Nielsen Fieldhouse as the campus's primary indoor arena. It was renamed in 1987 in honor of John N. Huntsman. From its opening until the completion of the Delta Center in 1991, the Huntsman Center was one of Salt Lake City's premier spots and entertainment venues, along with the Salt Palace, the home of the Utah Stars and later Utah Jazz. Jackson 5 performed there in 1973. Housed the 1989 Western Athletic Conference basketball tournament. Stephen Hawking gave a lecture there. Utah Jazz Summer League in 2016 because of a concert at Vivint. And then they moved everything there in 2017. So yeah, I mean a pretty.
The Dalai Lama spoke there once.
Oh, I didn't see
But
that.
what's probably the most famous event to have taken place at the Huntsman Center?
Oh boy, the 2006 NCAA tournament.
You're on the NCAA tournament, but not 2006.
That's just a picture on Wikipedia, so it's gonna be
1979.
okay. Is that
And why was that? Why
Magic?
was that so? Yeah, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird.
There you go. That's more than the Dalai Lama and Stephen Hawking.
Well, it was like one of the most iconic NCAA tournament games ever, ever.
I'm just arguing for devil's
The Dalai,
advocate's sake. I
the
agree
Dalai
with
Lama.
you. Magic and Larry is much bigger and better in my eyes.
Did I go? I feel like I might have saw a Beach Boys concert there as well.
Yeah, I'm
Anyways,
sure there's been quite a few concerts there.
yeah,
Kind of cool to know, Michael Jackson had played there, I guess, in the Jackson 5. I think we went down a rabbit hole once, but that was probably the only time Michael Jackson played here, right? In Utah.
could have been.
Hmm. Anyway, so I mean, what do we think about the building itself? It's a dome, as
Yeah,
most arenas are. It's got a jumbotron. I know that Utah has not had the best basketball team the last few years, not the most storied, and it's their first year with a new head coach, so they're building things back. But historically, everybody's making jokes about the Huntsman Center and how they put down the curtains because there's not enough people to even fill up the stands. Tickets are super cheap. Nobody's there. But from my personal experience, it was pretty full. It was pretty dang full on Saturday night. And so I can't speak to those low attendance claims. I mean, it wasn't sold
well,
out, but
I think you had multiple factors with number one just being BYU in general. It doesn't matter how good or bad you're doing; it's a fun game to go to. And with AJ, I think a lot of people wanted to go see him play.
even if you're a Utah fan, right?
Yeah, even if you're a Utah fan. So yeah, I can understand it being full. Or
I took it as an opportunity to get discount tickets to see BYU basketball this year. Because if you're going to go down to the Marriott Center, it's not cheap. So even like at $50, I think this ended up being $50 per ticket. It was still significantly discounted from what I've been able to find going to a BYU basketball
yeah,
game.
100%. It's just
But
weird because like growing up, BYU was the dominant force in football, and Utah was the dominant force in basketball. And then it kind of flipped for a while, but now Utah doesn't dominate anything.
gymnastics,
Yeah, gymnastics. Actually, they did pretty well in football this year, and it'll be interesting to see how Morgan Stanley,
Morgan Scally.
Scally, I say Stanley. I want to see Morgan Stanley invest in the company, and then Morgan Scally will see how he does. I do like Morgan though.
And I do too. And that's why I was kind of conflicted. I mean, did I send the video to you? You probably saw the video
Yeah,
circulating about they brought him out at halftime, which was, trying to get everybody pumped up for the team, the basketball team and the football team. And of all times, they decided to give him his introduction in front of a possibly more than 50% BYU crowd in attendance.
yeah. Timing probably wasn't the best.
Yeah, so I was conflicted because I really like him. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna turn me into a Utah fan by any means, but I do respect and appreciate him much more than I did the other dude.
The other guy.
And so when everybody started cheering as he's trying to speak, let's go Cougars or whatever they were saying, I was like, oh, do I want to cheer for this? Do I want to join
You
in?
want to be mean?
And I did. I mean, I had to,
Yeah.
but I was kind of inching my way,
The
and
crowd was doing it, so you had to follow the
you
crowd.
got to follow the crowd, win in Rome. And so, yeah, and I took my son. I took my, he got a picture with like a swoop statue because we went with my friend who's a Utah fan, and so and then my son, he's also conflicted. He's like, I like the Utes a little bit. I'm like, that's okay. You can like the Utes a little bit.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah. And
funny.
he got, I mean, there was around us was a mix of BYU and Utah fans. And there's a bunch of Utah fans, kind of look like they were students, and they left like 10 minutes still left in the game. I'm like, this game's still going on, guys. This game's not over.
Yeah, and it's a good game.
And it's a good game, but they just decided they didn't want to be part of it. And they left these towels that they had, these Utah towels. And so he got one of those and he's holding it up. I'm like, I don't know if I want you to hold it up. If you're going to hold it up, at least put it upside down. But he was happy to have the towel. So it's okay if he likes Utah a little bit. He'll grow up a better person than me since I have not been so kind. But to be fair, when I was his age, I also liked Utah a little bit or a
True.
lot of it. I was there cheering along with him. So he's got time to learn or grow, but ultimately he might be a better person than me.
Well, I think I've mentioned before with my dad having a connection to Utah and a lot of the universities in Utah. Um, he was gifted back in the day starter jackets. Do you remember those? The starter coats
Okay, yeah.
jackets. He got a University of Utah one, and my siblings were all like, "No way, BYU all the way!" And I'm like, "I'll wear it." Like I did, I loved BYU, but I wasn't like, you know,
You weren't a hater.
I wasn't a hater of Utah, and so I wore it. And I think my older sister, at one point almost thought I was going to hell for wearing the Utah jacket, like I was being sacrilegious or something like that. So I don't hate the U, and I have a lot of good friends who are U fans that you know, I get excited for them when Utah's winning, and except when they're playing BYU, then I don't get so excited. But they are fun to razz to
Rage
harass
bait.
a little bit, to rage bait a little bit, to debate with them on some topics. But my question is, aren't they planning and didn't they have plans to move the Huntsman Center?
Yes, sir, you're on the right track. I was just gonna
Okay.
say, so where it's at right now, I mean, I don't know this area very well. I don't tend to go here except for one reason. And my wife actually kind of works at the U and she works at the institute up there. And so we had a
Because the
parking
Institute's
spot.
across the parking lot, right? Or the
Yeah,
Huntsman
I mean,
Center?
that's where we parked. We parked in the staff
Yeah.
parking because, she's staff, she's
Oh, dang
faculty,
it.
and it still took us a million years to get out. But, and I don't know if they were policing the lot, there was enough that there was the signs that said faculty only, that there was spots left. So I'm like, yeah, we're parking there. Right. But it was a pretty quick, walk down the sidewalk and pretty much you're at the Huntsman Center. So it was really close proximity. So that was way nice. But the news is circulating, and even as of 5 days ago, there was an article saying, could the Huntsman Center stick around? Utah Athletic Director Mark Harlan isn't ruling it out. But with all this private equity and everything, that seems to be where it's heading, is that they're planning to relocate. So the historic John M. Huntsman Center, home to the Utes, will change locations as part of the Utes' plans to transition from a commuter school to a residential campus. So I don't know what more do you know about it. That's about all I know. Is that
That's all I know. They just wanted to create more space up in that area where the Huntsman Center is what I remember them saying. And when they say move the Huntsman Center, I assume they mean demolish the Huntsman Center and
yeah,
start over,
I don't
right?
think they're gonna.
Pick it up and or disassemble it like Legos and then re
That sounds way more expensive than just level and start over.
starting over. So, I mean, you've seen people move houses before or Did you hear about the guy? See what tangent you take me on? He worked out of an office building on Megator Highway where they're going to widen to put the overpasses in. So he bought the building back from them for like dirt cheap and then moved it just west of Bangerter, like in the same, bought some land right next to it and just moved the whole building over.
Wow. What
Because
was
then
this?
it's right on 106 South, I believe, or that or 104th, I think is what it is in Bangerter. But there was a bunch of like those office complexes where you have like a dentist or real estate office, stuff like that. So he
Mm-hmm.
bought the building really
He sold it
cheap.
to him and bought it back.
So yeah, yeah, something like that. And then just moved it far enough away from Bangerter. So I'm like pretty smart because the materials, everything's put together. It's very interesting. So
Yeah.
yeah, they could do it. They could move the Huntsman Center, couldn't they?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that would be no small task, but it's doable.
I'm sure it's
Just
doable.
label every brick and every beam. This is where this goes. Yeah, and who knows? We'll see what happens. I guess it's kind of interesting that they're trying to get away from that commuter campus idea and make it I guess a little more like what BYU is, right? It's like residential. This is where you live and you're on campus, you live here. This is your school where you are 24/7. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. This was back in March of 2025 when they kind of voted on, I guess, would you say that in the March board meeting, Taylor Randall, the University of Utah president, announced the plans for renovating Utah's campus, which included new buildings on the current site of the Huntsman Center. So basically, level it, put different buildings there, whether that be new housing or what. But where would they put this? Where would they put the Huntsman Center? Or would they even name it the Huntsman Center? Would it get a new name?
I would think it would stay the Huntsman Center, but
Yeah,
you don't know.
I just feel like there's not a lot of room up there.
Yeah, I don't know where they would put it.
It's obviously they got something in mind. Must be something else they can level that's not being used as much. But I guess we'll wait to see. But either way, it was you know I probably would be singing a bit of a different tune if the game had ended differently. But I had a good time there. I didn't have any problems. Nobody tried to fight me. Again, I
Nobody
was
poured.
mostly surrounded by BYU fans.
Okay.
I mean, we were at the tippy top. I think we were 3 rows down from the very top, and we weren't assigned. We were assigned a section, but we weren't assigned specific seats.
Oh, it's like open seating. Just go
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
find a seat.
Yep. So
Okay.
we just walked up. Luckily, no one took our seats when we went to the bathroom or whatever. But it was it seemed they tried their best to keep all the BYU fans as high as possible. They were we filled out the upper bowl pretty well. And I think I saw people like going down to sit closer if there were open seats and stuff. But yeah, I mean, again, I was with a Utah fan, so things were pretty amicable. We were razzing each other throughout the game. BYU would do something exciting, and I'd look at him and try and give his son a high five, and he would do the same for us when Utah would do something good. But I mean, for the beginning, it was looking pretty scary because I think Utah went out to like an 8 point lead at the beginning. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, what is happening? Like, it's okay. We're a second half team. This always happens. But when it's a rivalry game, a Utah BYU game, you get a little bit more weary.
Yeah. There's just something, and that's what happens almost every year, right?
They hadn't won there since 2021.
Right. So Richie Saunders has never won at the Huntsman Center. So he got his victory. You
He
could
got his
tell he was wanting to win pretty bad. He
Oh
was
yeah.
he was playing lights out, except that towards the end when he couldn't hit a free throw.
Yeah.
But
But
Other than that, he played
but
really well.
I actually was cheering for him to miss because then I got free Shake Shack.
Was that what it was?
Yeah,
Did
get
they give
free.
like coupons out at the end, or
No, I mean you just use your ticket, go into Shake Shack, and you get a free. You
oh,
have to
use the
buy
ticket?
something, but you just get a free burger. So I got 3 free burgers. So
Fair enough.
I that was the first time in my entire life that I cheered against BYU for something.
That was a pretty big moment in the game too, Brandon. I'm pretty shocked that
I know.
you traded your soul for a shake.
I did. It worked out.
Nice.
So there you go, Ute fans. You got me to cheer against BYU for once.
And it's crazy that Richie was the one who got it for you. I
I
never would have guessed
know.
that. Never would have put a
The
bet on
tater
that one.
tot king. That's okay. They still came away with it. Yeah, the foul shots were not the best in the game,
No.
but we got an exciting ending. And I know it stresses us out, but it's more fun to have a crazy rivalry, fun finish.
Yeah. Yeah, you want
Blowouts
every
aren't
game
that
to
fun.
be right. We bet on both sides of it, especially football. Like that Jake Heaps year. They got
I
to the
think I was on
point
my
to
mission for that one.
The Utah fans were just kind of like, sorry. Like they started off like, ha ha ha. Then after it was just 28-0 or something, the Utah fans were like, sorry. Like, I don't know what to do. It's not as fun. You want it to be close because it makes it more fun.
Yeah, get your heart pumping a little bit. But yeah, other than that, amenities seemed great. I mean, I don't have any complaints. Bathrooms were clean for the most part. We got some snacks. I mean, my
Do
son
they
is
have
a
anything
popcorn
that's
fiend.
like do they have anything that's like Utah themed, like the Cougar Tail, or
I don't.
they don't have a creamery, so there's no ice cream, right?
Yeah,
So
I didn't really venture too far because we ate beforehand, so I wasn't super hungry. But my son was very. I mean, we get popcorn, so we got that. And the other thing was my brother got some Nut Garden almonds. So, and those were delicious. He got some toffee cinnamon things, and the other ones, which I was super surprised by, the coconut white chocolate. Those were amazing. You
huh.
had those before?
From the Nut Garden? No.
You got to try those. They were, yeah. I was really surprised. I never had something that I didn't well, not that I didn't expect it to be good, but I was so surprised by how good the white chocolate coconut almonds were. So there you go.
Interesting.
Give
I
them a
love
shot,
almonds.
Nate. When
I
they're on
love
disc.
the almonds, especially when they're coated in either sugar or chocolate. I even like the salted ones. They're good.
Does maple syrup have sugar?
Then yes.
Thanks for a good time, Huntsman Center. Maybe I'll be back for a Red Rocks. I'm sure my daughter would enjoy. I mean, I guess we could go down to BYU for gymnastics too, right? But
Like
I
you
don't
said,
know.
Red Rocks are kind of the national
They're
brand.
kind of the premier brand.
They're the
Yeah.
SEC of the gymnastics world.
Something like that. But anyways, let us know what you think of the Huntsman Center or which Utah athletics venue or event we should check out next. We might do it.
Well, we haven't done the football stadium, right?
We
But we
I
plan
don't
on
think
doing it
so.
next year. We'll do it next year when we go to the Winter Classic.
There you go. I like it.
So,
Thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
and this was a place we just talked about.